What does the elected prosecutor do? The elected prosecutor in Cuyahoga County wears many hats, but the bulk of the prosecutor's office is dedicated to criminal law. More specifically, the county prosecutor focuses on charging felonies and seeing those cases to conclusion. The primary duty of the prosecutor, therefore, is a lot narrower than that of a mayor or a legislator. While the elected prosecutor has a narrow jurisdiction, they have immense discretion, or power, over whether someone is prosecuted or not for a crime, and what type of punishment they are sentenced to. This means the elected prosecutor is tasked with making decisions that can greatly affect a community's overall public safety. The elected prosecutor answers to the voters who elect or don't elect them every 4 years, but their policy decisions are not directly reviewed by anybody else. The elected prosecutor specifically sets the policy tone for the community's public safety. Due to this responsibility, the elected prosecutor has immense sway in whether prevention, rehabilitation, and reentry is prioritized, or whether the office instead skirts its responsibility and allows for prosecutorial misconduct, mass incarceration, and other outdated and disproven notions of injustice that make our communities less safe and cost our taxpayers billions in public funds. What is the history of prosecutorial elections in Cuyahoga County? Within the last 70 years, there have only been 2 meaningfully contested prosecutorial primary elections in Cuyahoga County's history, meaning that Cuyahoga County Democratic voters have only had 2 opportunities to truly decide who they want to represent them as their attorney. In this time period, there have been only 5 different prosecutors. The late John T. Corrigan was elected at the age of 33 in 1956, then served an unprecedented 35 years as county prosecutor. The Cuyahoga County Democratic Party then appointed the late Stephanie Tubbs Jones, who served as county prosecutor from 1991 to 1999, winning re-election twice. The party then appointed Bill Mason as she transitioned to Congress. Mason was re-elected in the general elections of 2000, 2004, and 2008, ultimately resigning 4 months before the end of his term in 2012, amidst accusations of using the office for patronage and political gain. Judge Timothy McGinty then won a crowded, contested Democratic primary in 2012, serving 1 term before being challenged by the current elected prosecutor, Mike O'Malley, in the 2016 Democratic primary. O'Malley was Bill Mason's number 2 when he was in office. He took advantage of a grassroots movement to oust McGinty due to McGinty's mishandling of several high-profile cases. In many ways, O'Malley was ultimately elected in rejection of McGinty, not because communities wholeheartedly believed that O'Malley might implement a policy platform that would improve their communities. Why should you vote in the March 19, 2024 primary? Historically, the election of the county prosecutor is often overlooked, as it occurs during presidential election years. But seeing as how the elected prosecutor only answers to the voters of the county that elects them, it is one of the most important elections that you can participate in. If you are frustrated with the current state of politics in this country, if you feel that your voice doesn't matter, if you believe that Cuyahoga County doesn't seem to work for the people, this is the election for you to vote in. Chances are that the concerns you have are either directly or indirectly impacted by that seemingly narrow scope of work that the prosecutor's office has. The methods of the current prosecutor's office fall short of justice for all. Prosecutors are tasked with protecting the public, and to do so, it is imperative to pursue policies that are proven to prevent crime, not just react to it. The future of our community depends upon your vote. What are the deadlines for the March primary election? There are links to ensure that you're ready to vote in the bio. Here are just a few actions that you can take now to make sure that you'll be able to vote on or before March 19th. Confirm your voter registration. Register to vote or update your voter registration if you need to. You have until February 20th. Make a voting plan now. You can vote in one of three ways. First, you can vote by mail. You're able to request your vote by mail application now, and you should do so as soon as possible. Ballots will be mailed out starting in mid-February, and you must return your vote by mail ballot by March 18th, either to the drop box at the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections at 2925 Euclid Avenue, or via mail. Keep in mind that you will need 2 stamps. You can vote early in person at the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections at 2925 Euclid Avenue. Early voting begins on February 21st and ends March 17th at 5 p.m. Finally, you can vote on the day of the March 19th primary election at your normal polling place. If you're voting early in person or voting on Election Day, you will need one of the following forms of voter ID. This is a change in Ohio law as of 2023, so if the last time you voted was in 2022 or earlier, please keep this in mind. Acceptable forms of voter ID include an Ohio driver's license with your current address, a State of Ohio ID card with your current address, an interim ID form issued by the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles with your current address, a U.S. passport or passport card, a U.S. military card, Ohio National Guard card, or U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs ID. You can go to voteriders.org for free help in obtaining qualifying documentation if you don't have it right now. If you cannot obtain qualifying voter ID, you can still vote by mail. Remember that you can request an application now, and that ballots will be mailed out starting in mid-February, and that the ballot must be turned in or postmarked before March 18th. Thank you for voting. I'm Matthew Ahn, and I approve this message.